for those of you that may have seen, I actually recorded an episode last night, a little inside baseball. I had heard that Terrace Bowie was going to be announcing that he was committing to the University of Alabama. And so I went ahead and did a little bit of a pre-record last night because I know I'd be at work today, and I would have the video ready to kind of break down Terrace Bowie's commitment to Alabama and Nate Oates. And it was absolutely phenomenal. I was able to get that video out. But there was something that I mentioned in that video that is now incorrect. So I want to kind of correct that. I did put a comment down in the bottom of that video. So hopefully anyone that saw it, did get to read that. But I mentioned in that video that Deron Rippey was also going to be visiting this upcoming weekend with Caleb Holt, because Caleb Holt had moved his visit up to this weekend with Jaxon Richardson. So Jaxon Richardson and Deron Rippey were originally scheduled. Caleb Holt was moving his visit up to join. Well, that has since changed, and now, instead of Deron Rippey joining that visit, we have number 5 overall recruit Dylan Mingo that's going to be visiting. So that means we have 2 top 5 prospects coming in, as well as the son of Jaxon Richardson, a top 21, top 25 prospect in his own right. So from a standpoint, Caleb Holt, obviously, for those of you that are unaware, he's a 6'5" shooting guard, originally from Huntsville, Alabama, currently going to Prolific Prep. A place where Alabama has had a lot of success recruiting guys from. Also, just a little bit of a heads up, he did play for Team USA basketball, which was the camp that Nate Oates was invited to be able to coach at. So Nate Oates obviously has had some direct coaching experience with him. I don't know how much of play that is going to have to do with this, but it is important to note that he has been coached by Nate Oates, but because he's a top 5 prospect and an Alabama kid, he is somebody that the staff has seen on numerous occasions. So it's really, really good that you're able to move up his visit and get him on campus here this weekend. Then you have Dylan Mingo. He is from New York. He is a 6'5" point guard. Again, the number 5 prospect in the class. This is a guy who I personally don't know a ton about, but obviously if you have a top 5 kid coming in, that's just huge, right? That's having a top 5 prospect coming in to visit on campus, like getting that full visit from them is a very, very big deal. If we look at Adam Finkelstein's kind of breakdown on 24/7 about him, he calls him a combo guard with length, versatility, and a natural feel for the game, ability to get where he wants. He has a really tight handle, a terrific rebounder. He was averaging 7.6 a game. He had 2 steals a game, can guard multiple positions. He's 6'4", but still has a 6'10" wingspan. That's obviously really, really good. He does have a little bit of a high turnover rate, so that's one thing that you have to kind of worry about, but it said that the one spot that he really needed to work on was his shooting mechanics. The one thing that a lot of people are really excited about with him was he's not turning 17 until October of his senior year. So potentially when you see somebody like that is turning 17, 18 later than other people in their class, they potentially have some extra either growth or just extra potential that's going to be able to bounce out, and you're going to be able to get out of them because of them being at the young age, right? At the end of the day, everyone's developing, and if you have somebody that's a little bit more underdeveloped, and he obviously gets the extra age, he could potentially have a little bit extra of a growth spurt, and just so much goes with that. So it's a big deal when you can get a guy that's already as highly rated as he is because of the handle and everything that he has, but the fact that he also is a younger kid for that class, that's a very big deal. Then we have Jaxon Richardson. This is a guy who's been on campus a couple of times before. I noted last year when I was at College Game Day, when it was on campus, Jaxon Richardson was goofing off with Preston Murphy. So he's a guy who's been on campus a couple of times. This is his official visit, although he's a 6'6" wing. Again, this is one of the wings that Alabama's going after. This is a guy who Nate Oates has been after for a very long time. This is one that I think Nate and Preston are definitely, are hoping for in the best way possible. Nate and them tried to get his brother, but hopefully, second time around's the charm. They weren't able to land Jace, but hopefully with Jaxon, you're able to land him, and that would be a very, very big deal. So, as I mentioned previously, this is one of the biggest recruiting weekends in Alabama basketball history. 2 top 5 prospects, and all 3 are top 25 prospects. This is going to shake up to be one of the biggest weekends in history, especially if you can get somebody landed, right? If you're able to land even just one of these guys, that'd be phenomenal. If you can land 2, it's absolutely insane. Obviously, 3 is just otherworldly. So, if you are at the game this weekend and you see any of these guys, tell them how much you want to see them at the University of Alabama. It'd be a very, very big deal. Like I said, NATO, it's Preston Murphy. I will let you guys know if I hear anything about anything that comes out after these visits, see if I can get any information before I record my breakdown of that Wisconsin game. We will see how it works out. I know it's an early game, so I may record Wisconsin early, but we will just have to see how everything shakes out.